What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review the fourth album by rapper Devin the Dude. Basically this product is called Waitin to Inhale, and it came out in the late winter of 2007. So within the pitch behind it, as far as this first going to happen, basically this is probably Devin the Dude's most commercial album within those particular fairs, but that's not saying a super ton just due to the factoid that he particularly was always kind of more off to the wayside. Not necessarily an underground rap, but just kind of more alternative rap, basically within like the stoner rap kind of subgenre. For the most part, the main problem with Devin the Dude is just the fact it's not a problem with Devin the Dude. It's not necessarily a problem with Devin the Dude, but it's just kind of with the pitch that a lot of his raps and more singles that were released to radio were kind of more stoner oriented. He was kind of like a more kind of hardcore version of Afroman. If you would take a song by Afroman, like Because I Got High, some of those type pitches, and then just have that with just have that particular song with less commercial kind of appeal. That's kind of the pitch of Devin the Dude, but within the pitch, he does have some quality music. He's pretty good at doing hooks. He's pretty similar to like 50 Cent and Chameleonaire and Afroman, some of those particular type folks that are pretty good at just crafting out their own hooks, pitches like that. It's just a good type fair to kind of get some of this. It's definite. Devin the Dude is a known stoner toolkit as far as this pitch can happen. Usually on most of his albums, he gets at least one stoner highlight that is just like a de facto song for a hell of smoke, as far as this pitch can happen. This album's no exception. Basically, the most popular song off this album, according to Spotify, is What a Job, which has Snoop Dogg, and then Andre 3000, which is strange enough just because the factoid behind it, he was kind of starting to get a lot quieter at past like 2006, 2007, so it's a good type pitch. But this is pretty smoke-centric. You can tell by the album cover just from the pitch behind it. There's a lot of smoke type fare within the aspect of it, this usual type product of that. But the particular product of it is there's actually more moments on here when you think of some of the classic Devin the Dude type moments like Doobie, Ashtray, some of those type ones. Now, I actually don't know a super ton. I know this particular album by Devin the Dude, Waitin to Inhale, and I know like his 2002 album, which I reviewed back in August of 2024, Just Trying to Live. But look, after I have not listened to The Extreme from 2004 yet, and within those pitches, I do faintly remember like his 2008 album. I want to say I actually reviewed that on this channel. There's the Devin the Dude album that I reviewed somewhere back in 2016. I don't remember which particular one it was, but it might have been like High Life or Landing Gear. I think it might have been Landing Gear. I don't remember his full bound, but this is an album I go back with because I remember this having some relative kind of commercial buzz and appeal about it within promotion type fare in like Double XL magazine, some of those type pitches within some of those type formats within the pitch. So this did particularly decently well. It's just the pitch. I mean, for the most part, Devin the Dude typically doesn't get to like the second or third single pitches like that, but it's just the format as far as saying this is some classic type appeal. Not to say he does in terms of like the impact of it, but it's just more in kind of alternative rap type territory within a more hardcore type sense. But definitely for stoner lore and like the pitch behind it. I mean, there are some big names on here, like Lil Wayne in his prime from 2007 when he was Lil Wayne from his prime in 2007 when he was fresh off of like the Drought 3 and some of the Drought is Over type mixtapes from 2007, just within the pitch when he was originally going to drop the Carter 3, kind of within that buzz, that particular aspect is on here. Bun B from UGK is on here. Snoop Dogg is on here, pretty good appeal. And like I said, Andre 3000 is. Devin the Dude's group Odd Squad is on here. They've collaborated with him numerous times within those pitches, so this album is pretty excellently produced. There's a lot of good productions on here. Now, it's more kind of within a Drury type format. If you're absolutely looking for something commercial within the appeal, I'd probably say What a Job's like the closest thing. That's probably the largest type song. I think the impact, the basic Spotify collective, the basic Spotify reception probably nails it on the head as far as like the pitch of like the most popular song, as far as like the most immediate one to go for. But there are some extra kind of buzz type songs on here that I feel like have some good pitch. Like I said, knowing Lil Wayne like that and remembering some of his fiery type verses, he really shreds Little Girl Gone. Bun B helps out with that song as well. Cut You Up's pretty good buzz single within the pitch. And I realize that this is talking about, considering that Devin the Dude around 2007 was like 34, 35, somewhere in their mid-30s, pitches like that, going after like some stallion type women. Now, it's not to say, obviously, within the fare of this particular song, within the fare of the particular Cut You Up type song, it talks about just younger women within the pitch, but obviously talking women if you're in your 30s and mid-30s and 40s, pitches like that, referring to women who are probably 21 at least that can buy alcohol, some of those type pitches, just 21, 23, some of those type fares, but it's just kind of more within the stallion type age within the format of it. It's just kind of the pitch as far as saying it. It's kind of the format of Devin the Dude realizing that he's kind of not as much as probably kind of goes along with the fair as far as advancing along with your 30s and further as far as this pitch can have. But it's a good type pitch. But yeah, there's some ones on here. There is commercial appeal about this product, just more in a stoners type aspect, just within the tone behind it. So it's just the pitch. I'll point out some more of these as far as this fair is going to happen. But really, not. There's 17 songs on this album, not counting the 3 skits on this album that narrows it down to 14. There's only one song out of the 14 songs left that I don't recommend, and that's just Till It's All Gone, which I'll talk about after talking about the lead single, What a Job. So basically, What a Job was Snoop Dogg and Andre 3000's like a super swamped and hazy kind of classic Smoke a Few tune. I'd have to say within the aspects of it here, just neighborhood sleaze. I'd have to say about this particular song, and just a good song to ooze around to as far as this pitch comes. So it's just the pitch, this neighborhood saunter, some of those particular aspects of just kind of finding oneself at different aspects like the town pitches like that, just kind of the saunter of just kind of here and there type combo pitches like that, just kind of some pajama cat type vibes within the pitch, not as much strip club bound, as much full bound within the pitch, but just kind of the format of disc. Kind of within more neighborhood type romps where you're going to be sitting on a lot of couches, just particular neighborhood disc aspects of just like the fair, just having smoke powwows, pitches like that. So just kind of same sort of vibe. This sort of particular aspect, like I said, a lot of similarities to Afro Man, some of those type pitches. If you know folks that routinely kind of listen to Afro Man and E40, Wiz Khalifa, some of these type folks more in like the stoner rap type fold and lore as far as this pitch album, this is just a good product of that. Snoop Dogg in like his 90s days, some of those type pitches, Too Short. This would kind of be the pitch about that. But this is just like a classic tune. It's definitely probably one of Devin the Dude's most popular songs within the pitch. It's good popular type aspect about it, just within the fair behind, but it has some good type appeals. This has some good star-studded type names on here, so it's a good aspect about it. Good quality, slinky type fair within it. Now this one, the next song I'm going to talk about was not necessarily a single, but this has some relative enough popularity about it just within the pitch, just reflecting on Lil Wayne's popularity in 2007. That would be Little Girl Gone, just to talk about that one. So Little Girl Gone is like a fierce, dramatic kind of outing brush, kind of get within the aspects of it, just windy and slog kind of makeshift, I'd have to say, and just kind of, just basically like windy and slog kind of makeshift afterthought as far as this particular song is like windy and slog kind of makeshift afterthought as far as what's going to happen with this. It's just the product of like an overcast kind of Tuesday, Wednesday, some of those particular type fairs, just the push alike, kind of get along, pretty similar to like Ludacris's Runaway Love. Same sort of Runaway Love and Brenda's Got a Baby type template within the pitch behind it. There's some other ones like The Sweetest Girl by Wyclef Jean from 2007. Good type pitch for like that typical kind of brushy disc, kind of just that typical kind of brushy disc, shit is real out here type vibe within the pitch behind it as far as this first comes. So it's just the pitch as far as getting towards that. But Lil Wayne really annihilates this verse. Just kind of came up with the verse just as pitch as that particular went. Once again, this is back. I don't think he wrote that particular verse. It's just the pitch, him just being able to knock that out just within the relative, I don't know how many takes it took him to do it, but it's just an excellent type fair. Just the prime form Lil Wayne that was doing around that particular time. Bun B has pretty good appeal on this song as well. Just good type pitch, kind of get him on this particular song just with an aspect of it. And Devin the Dude handles this song pretty well. So it's just the pitch. Yeah, like I was saying, the only song I don't recommend in any fashion off this album is just Till It's All Gone. Particularly this song, just kind of has like a kind of crummy, kind of just like beatbox type beat on here that just was not that affable within the pitch. It's just kind of an extra type song. It's kind of unfortunate because it's kind of a pseudo type skit type song. It just felt kind of extraneous and unnecessary as far as this first album. It's almost 8 minutes. It's just kind of product. I like the fact that Devin the Dude and Odd Squad are on this particular song. But it just kind of felt like a dick around type song that didn't have much purpose or real kind of connect as far as this first album. It probably should have had a better production. I think if it would have had a production like Cut You Up or something like Don't Want to Be Alone, just that kind of gleeful kind of smoke type fare, or something like Broccoli and Cheese, that kind of summer friedness, or just something like I Hope I Don't Get Sick of This, is something that would have had a little bit more affability within the connect behind it. I just would have felt a lot of this particular song affair, this was just kind of an extra type song, and extra, I don't mean extra in a good way, but extra kind of in a foul type way that just didn't have the connect about it. But nonetheless, this album still gets a 10 out of 10. Just as I say, there's plenty of these on this particular album that have the immediate type factor, connecting type factor. So one of which that I feel like probably could have been a buzz single and probably could have been something within a relative sense. It just the fact that Devin the Dude at least had the balls to be able to put out this particular song for folks. If Jay-Z were to say that he was attracted to someone, would have been the pitch like if Jay-Z wanted to holla at like Paris Hilton or something like that back in 2005, 2006, 2007, would have been the same type of pitch. But it's just in the format that Cut You Up's a nice one here. It's like a nice contemporary kind of bounce that I'd say about this song. Just good buzz single, I'd have to say here. The song's like a good buzz single choice kind of get here. I'd have to say with an aspect of it, just definitely some holla music for Stallions as far as this pitch counts. So just the aspect as far as saying, I think within the choice of Cut You Up, it's just a pretty nice contemporary type one within the pitch behind. This kind of feels like a relative affable type one within the pitch. I think the relative type format, a neighborhood type fare, is just house party kind of sleeves within the pitch, just red cup type pitch within the after effects, some of that type product, just the pitch behind it, just within those conducts. So it's just good type fare. Just being able to have like that typical kind of house party crunk. Now, the thing about Devin the Dude is just the fact that if you're looking for something sparky and kind of energetic, like when I reviewed Just Trying to Live from 2002, that at least had songs like For Show and some of those type of moments that had a little bit of like extra kind of spark and appeal. For the most part, this is pretty sleepy and drowsy within the pitch. I probably would say maybe Cut You Up is like the song with like the most kind of like aspect to like something that really has like some sort of jump about it within the pitch behind it. I mean, there are some moments that have like a little bit of drear and makeshift kind of thrown in there within some of those type pitches. It does have like the neighborhood jaunts that are typical for Devin the Dude, some of that type for just city hopping, but within the pitch as far as something like a song like For Show by Devin the Dude that was just kind of a dance club type hop for like a stunt night for chunking up the deuce and smoking up on and drinking up on like a Friday night. It's not as full bound with it, but like I said, I feel like Cut You Up's kind of a good contemporary relative bounce about it that kind of has like some mild kind of house party, red cup, and kind of dance club vibes about it. But Broccoli and Cheese is a nice one here. It's like a feeling sort of burnt kind of summer crawl to kind of get within aspects of it here. Just some romp music with like a slant, I'd have to say, within the pitch about it as far as what's first going to happen. It's good for some wandering. This is just kind of one just kind of amidst like the neighborhood and just standard fares just within those pitches as far as those formats going to happen. Just kind of in a summer fried kind of just more kind of in a summer fried, just kind of more Latin guitar type licks as far as those pitches can happen. Just the aspect of this kind of more John's just within the aspect of this town surfing pitches like that, so it's just some good type of appeal. This is a pretty chatty type album within the pitch behind it, so it's just the aspect as far as saying this has the aspect of getting stoned in pitches like that, but having the aspect of actually having like a little bit of poundage and dap within those pitches as far as having some extra chats kind of get to within those particular type of appeals. I hope I don't get sick of this. It's a quality one. It's like a leery and catchy kind of neighborhood weaving to kind of get within the aspects here, just some usual day slogs as far as this pitch kind of goes. So this one just kind of has like a trippy type factor. This reminds me of like a particular song that was also off Just Trying to Live. There's like some particular song off the album, don't remember it's full bound, maybe I'll put in the connotation, but there's like some type pitch where it's like a couple, both the boyfriend and girlfriend are kind of cheating on each other as far as those first can happen. It's just the pitch that they get into a fight and they wind up getting arrested, something like that. It's just kind of a product that like the law gets involved, some of those type pitches within the format. I remember that particular song from like I guess I could look that up real quick just see if I can remember. I think it was actually WXYZ, or it was I think it was actually WXYZ, or it was Tough Love, one of those type pitches. And if it wasn't those, I'll probably put in the connotation. But that's the pitch behind it. I hope I don't get sick of this. This has that lyric kind of, just kind of upset. It's that lyric kind of woozy flavor about it as far as what's first going to happen. Nothing to roll with is a quality one as well. And this is what you see is what you get with this particular song. It's like a malaise and droopy kind of smoker's lament to kind of have within the aspects here. Just a quick goodie for like some morning buzz as far as those pitches can happen. By morning, I mean morning within the pitch. So it's just kind of the product of just 6 a.m. pitches like that, 7 a.m. pitches, just that. It's the product of like 6, 7, 8 a.m. Some of those type pitches that just like smoke, wake, and bake type fare within the fashion of it. Having a quick breakfast, some of those particular type aspects. But mostly, it just kind of feels more empty and kind of forlorn and just kind of more broken within the pitch behind. Just kind of the factoid. Kind of feels within the product as far as saying that Devin the Dude in particular just kind of has kind of feels like Devin the Dude has some leftover lament as far as those pitch can happen, but it's just a good product for just like those empty type moments if you are upside down and you have nothing but just a little bit of smoke fare within the pitch. So some good type products for that, just kind of that empty type fashion. Somebody Else's Wife is a quality one within the pitches of it as far as those pitch. Somebody Else's Wife is a quality one as well. It's like a vintage kind of dreary Devin, I'd have to say here. It just reminds of like 2002's For Show, I'd have to say within the pitch of it. Just more lazy, I'd say good song to smoke if you do within the aspect. So basically the product of For Show from 2002, to talk about that song just within the pitch, just the basic format. That was like one of the few nightclub songs like I was saying earlier within the pitch. Just like some step out in like a Thursday, Friday type fashion within the pitch. But this one has a particular similar type production fare. I don't know if it's produced by the same folks as far as this first album, but it's just within the pitch as far as saying it's a little bit more lazy about it. It's kind of the product of having like some smoke type fashion, just a more kind of routine around the household, more residential within the pitch behind it. There's a lot of good bells product within the particular fare of this album. Definitely some smoke divas, some juggalettes, some pitches like that. Just more smoke centric type women within some of those type products I dislike. I mean, it has like the makeshift moments on here, but it's just within the pitch as far as saying just having like this particular album is definitely like some stoners makeshift as far as those first albums. So it's just very much amidst like the neighborhood, just the product of like the in betweens and the out and about. It's just the air and runs and the pitch pitches like that, the snack runs, the grabbing supplies, paying bills, some of those type of pitches within the format, also having like your personal life within the pitch as well. So it's just the product of having that. Don't Want to Be Alone is a real nice one. Like the particular pitch of this. It's like a high as hell kind of feeling, adventurous kind of trip out to kind of get within the aspects here. Just a cheery kind of Marley vibes about this particular song. So this is just a pitch. It's really in a pretty balmy type mood. This is one of those type pitches where you're where you look within the pitch, it kind of has like that giddy type fashion as smoking within some of those type fairs, but just really the product of this kind of feeling just a lot more energetic and kind of just more kind of bouncy and jubilant as far as those fairs would kind of happen. Just kind of the product of just like a genuine kind of good mood within some of those type fairs. Just when you think of like depressants, like liquor pitches like that, it kind of has the format of just kind of where you're not riding. This is like the product of actually having like a good trip as far as saying that it's like just cheeriness and kind of being a social butterfly, some of those type pitch, just kind of format, just like some good balm as far as those first come. So it's just a good product. When you typically think of like certain smoking type songs that has a little bit more dredge and just kind of more like sullen or forlornness just about within the pitch behind, just a little bit darker in the swirl of it, but this particular one just has a little bit more of like a kind of positive swirl pitches like that. It's kind of aspect, just like a little bit of bright and kind of it kind of feels bright and rambunctious as far as what's going to happen. That leads me to another song that's kind of within that fashion. There's a couple of these on here. I feel like another one within that sort of pitch is Just Because. It's like a good stoner's kind of morning embrace, kind of get just kind of in conquest mode. I'd have to say this is the product of wanting to get some stuff done, kind of within the pitches, saying, hey, I'm going to put in that other job application today, some of those type pitches or some of those type formats. I'm going to get another job, some of those type fairs. I'm going to put in some extra work. I'm going to work a couple extra days overtime this week, some of those type pitches. It's like a nice early toolkit. It's like a nice early toolkit to kind of get here within those products. Good music for some Denny's type fare. Definitely Waffle House Denny's type pitches like that. It's just a great type pitch for like the sunrise when the skies are pink and dewy. Some of those type pitches to form a good springtime type song within the pitch as far as those pairs would kind of happen. Good springtime type song within the pitch as far as those pairs would kind of happen. Just the aspect of it, just kind of the product of just 6 a.m., 7 a.m. those pitches, getting some bacon and pancakes made, some of those type pairs, and then figuring out what to do with it. She Used to Be is a quality one. It's like an out in the town kind of traffic and noise kind of get within the aspects of it. Just a chatty kind of loiter and snack. She Used to Be is like some chatty kind of loiter and snack type music within the fair behind a good song to lounge to, definitely with some ballads, diva type fair pitches like that, and it's a good song for some grooves as far as this pitch kind of goes. So just the product, just like extra type fair, kind of more or less just kind of extracurricular kind of simp type music, just in the product of it, just being around in the neighborhood, some of those type pitches, it just is kind of enjoying the product of some gab within those products as far as those fairs can happen. So just surprising because Devin the Dude is more chatty on this particular album than he was on the 2002 Just Trying to Live Within some of those type products. There's some ones on here like She Want That Money, Broccoli and Cheese, She Used to Be, I Hope I Don't Get Sick of This, some of these particular type fairs, Somebody Else's Wife, some of these type pitches on here as far as those fairs can happen. Probably even Don't Want to Be Alone, some of those type pitches. Just a good type product that this actually has a good embalm of just like the gab of just having like some outing kind of just public kind of some public kind of commute and convos, some public kind of combo and expression as far as those pairs can have. So good type pitch. I'd say there's another song on here I was going to talk about. Almighty Dollar is a quality one within these pitches. It's like a half razzle. Almighty Dollar is like a half razzled kind of city commute to kind of get within the aspects of some hazy kind of get errands done. I had to say within the pitch. It's definitely the product of having smokage in your system, being high as hell as you get some shit done within those particular products of it. Just a jury kind of extra thought as far as those fairs. It's like a jury kind of extra thought as far as those fairs can happen within the pitch of it. Yeah, but it's just the product, basically like a traffic and snack run or some pitches like that. Just a standard kind of fair of being productive, just out in the neighborhood and pitches like that. The city town hop type fair, just the day shift as far as those pitches kind of happened. But just basically kind of half, not as full bound, kind of tore up within the pitch of really having to sit down and really being woozy, but just kind of the concept of just having it within the relative system. Maybe more golden eyes more so than red eyes within the pitch, but just the format of some of that particular type fair. And then She Want That Money is a quality one within the aspects. It's like this, like a stock kind of city neighborhood kind of Devin within the aspects of it here. Just some of those typical type fairs of like 2000s kind of Devin the Dude type songs within the pitch. Just grab Chinese food, some of those type fairs within it. Good products like that. Get some egg rolls, crab ragu, some of those type pitches. Good stuff for that. And it's like good song for some supplies as well. Get like some lighters, 40 ounce or two, some of those type pitches. Just roll up some haze within those products. So just a good type product to kind of get to that here as far as rolling up like some sticky, some of those particular type formats within the pitch of just actually going to have like a pretty terrific kind of smoke session, some of those particular aspects of it. So it's just the product, I mean, more or less you have these particular type ones just within the fashion, more neighborhood type pitches, as you do have like your coffee tables in the setup as far as those pitches can happen just with pals, some of those particular type formats. Now, kind of with things being more family bound within a sense, it's kind of here and there within the pitch behind, but there's definitely some products like some social commotion for like those pitches of dislike, the classic kind of days when you think of like 2000s type fashions of watching like the classic kind of 2000s days of watching movies like Jay and Silent Bob movies, some of those type pitches like that, and like movies like The Matrix, some of those type pairs where you're going to have the hell of smokers in your system just within some of those type products. So it's just the pitch as far as saying it has the excellent type conduct of it. So that's the product of this album as far as what's going to happen. I think I talked about every single song. Maybe I didn't talk about No Longer Needed Here. I think this is the last one I haven't talked about. So No Longer Needed Here is like a swamped and bleary kind of After Effects, I'd have to say. Some After Effects makeshift to kind of get along with the pitch. Some After Effects makeshift to kind of have within that fair is like a get along kind of sludge, I'd have to say here in the overall hot type one. No Longer Needed Here is like some hotel thoughts, kind of afterthoughts as far as this pitch can happen. Just kind of very similar to Doobie Ashtray, but just not as stoner centric within the pitch as far as those pairs are going to happen. It's kind of the product of just kind of in that droopy type mode of just getting back to like the makeshift kind of aspect of just like, alright, party's over, pitches like that, time to get back on the road, some of those type pitches, figure out what's going to happen for like the next few days, some of those type pitches are just the format, like the typical kind of day shift and product as far as those pitches can happen, but it just kind of does it in like a real droopy type aspect, which is pretty affable. That's the pitch behind this album as far as what's first going to happen. So yeah, this album gets a 10 out of 10 just on the pitch. The social score I'll probably give maybe like a 9.5 out of 10. I look within the product, it definitely has some good affable typeness. I feel like this is a pretty chatty type album. It's definitely the pitch. If you have like a series of smoke-centric type house pitches like that, series of smoke-centric bellas, some of these type pitches, it definitely has the product for some of these type moments. Definitely some bellas probably are going to want to smoke along with the songs like Cut You Up, Somebody Else's Wife, No Longer Needed Here, Don't Want to Be Alone, some of these type pitches, Broccoli and Cheese, some of these type ones within the aspects of it. I hope I don't get sick of this. I mean, it's just a number of these type ones that are just great for roll-up type toolkits, pitches like that, having hell of zigzags, some of those type formats are really getting swamped out. Now, within the pitch, as far as like the full-bound type ones that miss like the trip is, it's just kind of more miss the format of either already being stoned or kind of having the product of getting towards the product of it. In terms of like the actual product of smoking while actually having like the format of like listening to the music is kind of the pitch that's the only real product of it, but this kind of has like the before and after type moments. But within the product, I do at least feel like What a Job is a good aspect for that particular type fare, and probably like Cut You Up, and I hope I don't get sick of this or like some other type ones within those fashions. So it's just the pitch as far as saying, but it's just the overall good smoker's chulka. It's just the pitch as far as saying it just has more of the moments for just like the vibrancy of that particular fare of it. But it's just kind of the pitch that only one single, Devin the Dude's kind of more hardcore type territory, does have a series of guests on here, Snoop Dogg, Lil Wayne, Andre 3000, Bun B, some of those type folks, just within the pitch as far as saying, the thing, especially nowadays, that this particular album is over 18 years old, is just within the pitch as far as saying that the product of it might just not be as much within the full-blown kind of casual connect as far as what's first going to happen. But I look after it. It is a classic. Just the pitch as far as saying, I would definitely look into this product, especially for smoke-centric type fairs, because it has the aspect pretty much in that in spades. So in terms of the future, like Devin the Dude has had a pretty steady stream of putting out products within those fairs. I know he's at least put them out up to like the mid or late 2010s as far as what's first going to happen. I think he probably has like the occasional type other ones, but it's just within the pitch that nowadays, just the product of it as far as these fairs that happen. I mean, realizing for folks that don't know, Devin the Dude is like Scarface's age and Snoop Dogg's age, so he's past the age of 50 as far as this fairs gonna happen. Like I said, he was in his mid 30s back in 2007 when this particular album was coming out, so it's just a pitch as far as saying that's the product of it. But yeah, plenty of these albums. I'm gonna get to some more of these. I do want to get to like the Coffee Brothers album. I was originally gonna review that. I was originally going to review the Coffee Brothers album at some point. I definitely need to get to that as far as this first album. We'll get to some of those type ones, but this is a classic here, Stoner's Toolkit masterpiece within some of those type of feels, definitely easy enough to recommend.